Widower slept at bus terminal next to a woman, but she was a secret agent watching him. Michael Johnson slumped exhausted on a bench at the New York City bus terminal, his eyelids heavy as lead after yet another sleepless night. At 35, this man who was once full of life now carried the weight of 6 months grieving his wife Jennifer, whose passing left a void impossible to fill. The brunette woman in dark clothes sitting beside him pretended to fiddle with her phone, but her watchful eyes missed none of his movements. Samantha Miller was an experienced private investigator, hired for a mission she didn't fully understand yet, one that paid extremely well just to keep tabs on this seemingly ordinary man. Michael closed his eyes for a moment, and that's when he heard a woman's voice over the terminal's loudspeaker. Passenger Jennifer Williams, please proceed to counter number 3. Jennifer Williams. The name hit him like a punch to the gut. Michael jolted awake, his heart racing, desperately scanning the area as if his late wife might be there waiting for him. It was just a coincidence, but the pain that shot through his chest was all too real. Samantha noted every tear he tried to hide, every shaky breath, mentally recording every detail. There was something about this man that stirred an odd feeling in her, a mix of pity and curiosity that had no place in a professional like her. "Excuse me," Michael murmured, staggering to his feet to buy a ticket at the counter. "Where to?" asked the clerk. "Williams. I want to go to Williams, to visit my mother." Samantha discreetly joined the line behind him. Williams, the coastal town where he was born and raised, far from the painful memories of New York City. She bought a ticket for the same destination, keeping a calculated distance. The overnight bus was nearly empty. Michael chose a window seat, watching the city lights fade away. Samantha settled a few rows back, where she could see him perfectly. During the ride, the widower struck up a conversation with an elderly white-haired woman who sat beside him. "The first time is always the hardest, my dear," the woman said, noticing his red-rimmed eyes. "I lost my husband 15 years ago. At first, I didn't think I'd make it." "How did you manage?" Michael asked, his voice thick. "One day at a time. And realizing the love we feel for them doesn't disappear. It just turns into a longing that warms the heart." Samantha discreetly recorded every word with her phone. There was something in the way Michael spoke about his wife that hinted at unspoken secrets. He mentioned Jennifer's final days had been strange, that she seemed to be hiding something important from him. She started going out more, said she was meeting friends. But when I called to check, they claimed they hadn't seen her in weeks, Michael confided to the woman. "I think she was cheating on me, and it's eating me alive." The revelation made Samantha lean forward. Her client had mentioned something about needing to find important documents Jennifer possessed, but never explained exactly what. They arrived in Williams at dawn. The town stirred with the scent of the ocean and the bustle of fishermen at the harbor. Michael inhaled the salty air deeply, feeling something like relief for the first time in months. Mrs. Betty, his 68-year-old mother, waited for him in the small 2-bedroom house where he'd grown up. She hugged him tightly, noticing how thin and worn he looked. "Son, you need to take care of yourself. Jennifer wouldn't want to see you like this. Mom, I can't stop thinking about her. And worse, I've started to suspect I never really knew the woman I lived with for 10 years. Samantha stayed at the inn closest to Mrs. Betty's house, introducing herself as a journalist researching the colonial architecture of the area. The disguise was perfect for justifying her constant presence in the neighborhood streets. In his childhood bedroom, Michael found a box of old letters Jennifer had written when they were teenage sweethearts. Rereading the tender words and the dreams they had shared, he wondered how that romantic girl had become someone capable of lying to him. Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot as we're just starting out. Now back to the story. At the local market, Samantha casually struck up a conversation with Mrs. Betty, helping her carry her groceries. "Do you have family here?" Samantha asked, feigning polite curiosity. "I have my son, Michael. He's going through a hard time. He lost his wife not long ago. Jennifer was a sweet girl, but I always felt she was hiding something from the family. She never talked about her parents, said she'd lost contact with everyone." "How sad. Did she have any siblings?" "Funny you should ask. Once Michael showed me a childhood photo of her with a girl who looked just like her. When I asked who it was, Jennifer got nervous and changed the subject. They never brought it up again. The information made Samantha's heart race. A twin sister no one mentioned could explain a lot about her mysterious client who had hired her services. That night, Michael began having recurring nightmares where he saw Jennifer in two places at once. He woke up in a cold sweat, with the unsettling feeling that something important had escaped his notice all those years of marriage. During a morning walk on the beach, he nearly bumped into Samantha, who pretended to be lost while consulting a tourist map. "Excuse me, do you know the way to Harbor Fortress?" she asked with a rehearsed smile. "Sure, just follow that path. Are you a tourist?" "I'm a journalist, working on a piece about the historic buildings in the area. And you, do you live here?" "I live in New York City, but I was born here. I came to visit my mother and try to forget some things." The conversation flowed naturally, and Samantha was surprised by the genuine empathy she felt for his pain. Michael wasn't what she'd expected. There was nothing suspicious or dangerous about this man shattered by loss. "You know, losing someone we love is like losing a part of ourselves," he said, gazing at the horizon. "Sometimes I feel like Jennifer is still here watching me, trying to tell me something I couldn't understand when she was alive." "What kind of thing?" Samantha asked, fighting her professional impulse to pry for information. "In the last few months she was different. She got strange calls left without explaining where she was going. I started suspecting another man, but now I think it might have been something more complicated." Samantha felt a pang in her chest. She was starting to like this man, and that complicated her mission tremendously. Worse, she was beginning to suspect her client had withheld important details about the real reasons for the surveillance. That afternoon, Michael got a call on his phone. A woman's voice on the other end whispered words that chilled him to the bone. "Michael, you need to uncover the truth about Jennifer before it's too late. She left something very important for you to find." "Who is this? How did you get my number?" "Someone who knew Jennifer better than you think. Look where you first met." The call ended, leaving Michael with trembling hands. The place they'd met was the college library in New York City. But what secret could Jennifer have hidden there after all these years? Mrs. Betty watched her son grow even more troubled after the mysterious phone call. "Michael, maybe it's time you accept that Jennifer had a life you didn't fully know about. That doesn't mean your love wasn't real." "How can I accept that, Mom? How did I live 10 years with someone and not realize I was being deceived?" "Son, sometimes people keep secrets not to hurt us, but to protect us." Samantha intercepted a letter that arrived in the mail addressed to Michael. The sender didn't identify themselves, but the contents left her shocked. The letter mentioned a bank account in Jennifer's name with regular deposits made even after her passing. Someone was using her identity to move money. The investigator faced an ethical dilemma. Should she give the letter to Michael or pass it on to her client first? She decided to confront the man with whom she'd developed an unexpected connection. "Michael, I need to talk to you about something serious," she said, finding him on the beach at dusk. "Samantha, what are you doing here? I thought you'd gone back to New York City." "I lied to you. I'm not a journalist. I'm a private investigator and I was hired to watch you." Michael's face twisted in anger and confusion. "Hired by who? Why?" "Someone who claims to know secrets about Jennifer. Someone looking for documents she had." "What documents?" "Jennifer never hid anything important from me." "Michael, this letter arrived for you today. I think you need to read it." He opened the envelope with trembling hands. The contents revealed not only the secret bank account, but also references to transfers to an institution called Hope Haven in New York City. Hope Haven? I've never heard of this place. Let's find out together what Jennifer was doing. But first, I need to confess something. I'm not sure I can trust the person who hired me anymore. Michael studied the face of the woman who had lied to him, but now seemed sincere in every word. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because I've come to care about you. And because something tells me Jennifer was protecting someone, not betraying you." The next morning they traveled back to New York City together. Michael confronted Robert, Jennifer's best friend, in his law office. "Robert, I need you to be honest with me. Was Jennifer involved in something I didn't know about? The lawyer hesitated, clearly uncomfortable. Michael, she made me promise not to tell you anything while she was handling the situation. What situation? She's gone, Robert. There's nothing left to protect. Jennifer was secretly funding a shelter for women escaping abusive relationships, Hope Haven. She used part of the inheritance she received from her parents to help these women start over. Why hide that from me? I would have supported her, because some of these women were running from powerful, dangerous men. Jennifer believed the less you knew, the safer you'd be. Samantha and Michael exchanged glances. The revelation completely changed their perspective on Jennifer's secretive behavior. There's one more thing, Robert continued. Jennifer had a twin sister who'd been in hiding for years. She was helping her financially through the shelter. A twin sister? Michael stood up from his chair, stunned. Jennifer never told me she had a sister. Her sister was fleeing an extremely destructive relationship. Jennifer protected her by keeping her location a complete secret. Samantha felt the puzzle pieces falling into place. Her mysterious client, who never wanted to meet in person, who communicated only by phone and bank transfers, who knew intimate details about Jennifer's life. Where is this sister now? Samantha asked. I don't know. After Jennifer passed, she vanished completely. She must be terrified, without the financial protection she used to receive. Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, take a moment to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot as we're just starting out. Now, continuing. That afternoon, Samantha received an urgent call from her client. I need you to speed things up. Michael must have found the documents I need. What documents exactly? You've never been specific about what I should look for. Identity papers, certificates, bank statements, things that prove who I really am. Who are you? There was a long pause before the answer came. I'm Jessica Johnson, Marina's twin sister, and I desperately need those documents to restart my life without hiding. Samantha felt the ground give way beneath her. She had spent weeks watching her own client's brother-in-law. Why didn't you tell me this from the start? Because I couldn't trust anyone. My ex has connections everywhere. If he found out where I am, Michael has a right to know the truth. He might be shocked to see me. We're identical. Jennifer left the documents I need somewhere safe, but only Michael can access them. Samantha decided it was time to bring together the two in-laws who didn't even know each other existed. She arranged a meeting with Michael at a discreet cafe in downtown New York City. Michael, I need to tell you something that will change everything you think about Jennifer. More revelations? I don't know if I can take it. Your wife had an identical twin sister who lived in hiding, and that sister is the one who hired me to watch you. Michael fell silent for several minutes, processing the information. A sister, twin, identical? She's in danger and needs documents Jennifer kept for her. Documents that might be with you. I don't understand. Jennifer never gave me any special documents. Think. Is there anywhere she kept important things? A safe? A hidden drawer? Michael remembered the small safe Jennifer kept in the closet. He had never opened it after she left, considering it an invasion of privacy. There's a safe at home. I know the combination, but I never opened it after she was gone. Michael, your sister-in-law wants to meet you. But prepare yourself, because she looks exactly like Jennifer. It might be a shock. The meeting was set for the next day at the apartment where Michael and Jennifer had been happy. Samantha arrived first to offer emotional support to both. When the doorbell rang, Michael's legs trembled. He opened the door and for a moment thought he was hallucinating. Standing before him was Jennifer, exactly as he remembered, but with a different expression in her eyes, more cautious, marked by suffering. Hello, Michael, said Jessica, her voice almost identical to her sister's but slightly deeper. I'm Jessica, Jennifer's sister. Michael leaned against the doorframe, fighting dizziness. This can't be. You're identical, I know. Jennifer always said we were like two halves of the same person, but we took very different paths in life. Samantha watched the emotional scene, sensing how painful yet comforting this reunion was for Michael. Why did Jennifer never tell me about you? because I asked her not to. I spent years running from a man who controlled and threatened me. Jennifer protected me by keeping my existence a secret. They sat in the living room where so many happy memories had been made. Jessica shared her story, a relationship that began romantically but turned into a nightmare of control and manipulation. I fled Boston 5 years ago when he started physically abusing me. Jennifer helped me hide in New York City, but I had to live under a false identity. And the shelter she supported, that was my idea. I wanted to help other women going through what I did. Jennifer financed it, and I took care of the people there, using a different name. Michael opened Jennifer's safe with trembling hands. Inside were not only Jessica's original identity documents, but also a letter addressed to him. My dearest Michael, if you're reading this letter, it means something has happened to me. And Jessica has finally found the courage to look for you. Forgive me for keeping the secret about my sister all these years, but it was the only way to protect her. Jessica is my twin sister, but more than that, she's my best friend and the bravest person I know. She fled a destructive relationship and came to New York City to start over. I helped her because I knew you would do the same if you knew the truth. The money I sent to Hope Haven was to help women like my sister who need a second chance. Jessica coordinated everything but never wanted you to know because she feared putting you in danger. If anything happens to me, please take care of her as I would. She's all that remains of my family, and now she's yours too. Jessica has all the documents she needs to rebuild her life under her real identity. Please help her, and don't be too sad for me. I was so happy by your side. With all my love, Jennifer. Michael finished reading the letter with tears in his eyes. He looked at Jessica and saw not just the face of his late wife, but a strong woman who had survived unimaginable trauma. Jennifer left money for you to start over, he said, handing her the documents. And she left a responsibility for me too. Michael, you don't owe me anything. It's not an obligation, it's a choice. Jennifer loved you, and that's enough for me. Samantha watched the emotional moment, knowing her mission had turned into something far greater. She too had found a new family in these unlikely circumstances. Samantha, there's something you should know, Jessica said. You were one of the women the shelter helped 3 years ago. I remember you. The revelation hit Samantha like lightning. She had blocked out many memories from that difficult time in her life when she escaped a toxic relationship in Philadelphia. Hope Haven. I remember now. A woman named Sarah helped me with documents and money to start over. Sarah was my alias. That's why I took this job when you showed up looking for work at my investigation agency. I wanted to repay the help we'd given. You gave me a second chance at life, and you didn't even know who I was. Now we know who we are to each other. We're family. In the months that followed, Michael helped Jessica rebuild her life under her true identity. She resumed her studies in psychology and officially took over coordinating Hope Haven, expanding the work Jennifer had begun. Samantha became the shelter's official investigator, helping women escape dangerous relationships and build new lives. She had found a purpose that combined her professional skills with her personal experience. Michael realized that honoring Jennifer's memory meant continuing the work she had started in secret. He sold the apartment filled with painful memories and bought a larger house where Jessica and Samantha could live while rebuilding their lives. The first time Michael saw Jessica smile genuinely, he understood that despite her resemblance to Jennifer, his sister-in-law had a unique personality, shaped by experiences of resilience that had made her incredibly strong. You know, Michael, Jennifer always said you were the most generous man she'd ever met. Now I understand why. She taught me that love means protecting and caring, even when we don't fully understand the reasons. Samantha was surprised to realize she had developed feelings for Michael, but she decided to prioritize their friendship. There would be time for other possibilities to unfold naturally. Michael, can I ask you something? Samantha said one afternoon as they organized documents at Hope Haven. Of course. Do you feel like Jennifer prepared you to meet Jessica? Sometimes I get that sense. Like all the values she taught me about family and protection were leading me to this moment. Jessica joined the conversation, bringing coffee for everyone. Jennifer always said you'd understand when the time came. She trusted your heart. 6 months after their first meeting, they turned the bus terminal where it all began into a special symbol. Every month, the three of them met there to distribute information about Hope Haven to women who might be in dangerous situations. It's funny how this place has changed meaning, Michael reflected, sitting on the same bench where he'd slept that life-changing night. From a place of escape and pain to one of hope and new beginnings, Samantha added. Jennifer would be proud, Jessica said, holding her brother-in-law's hand. She always believed even the hardest moments could turn into blessings. A year later, Hope Haven had helped over 100 women rebuild their lives. Michael had found a new purpose that honored Jennifer's memory in a tangible way. Samantha and Jessica had developed a deep friendship, bonded by their shared understanding of overcoming similar traumas. They became co-directors of the shelter, combining their unique skills to create an even more welcoming environment. You know, Jennifer was right about one thing, Michael said during a celebration for the shelter's anniversary. What? The two asked in unison. That true love doesn't end with goodbye. It transforms and keeps doing good through the people it touched. Jessica smiled with tears in her eyes. My sister managed to bring together 3 people who needed healing and turn our pain into strength to help others. Samantha hugged them both, grateful to have found family in the most unlikely circumstances. We're proof that even in the most mysterious and painful situations, there can be a happy ending. Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot as we're just starting out. Now continuing, 2 years after that night at the terminal, Michael had made peace with his memories of Jennifer. He'd learned that knowing someone completely is impossible, but true love embraces the mysteries and chooses to trust in the essence of the person you love. Jessica blossomed in her new life, transforming from a woman haunted by fear into a confident leader who inspired other survivors. She began giving talks on overcoming adversity and rebuilding self-worth. Samantha discovered that her experience as an investigator, combined with her personal journey of healing, made her exceptionally qualified to help women in crisis. She developed safety protocols adopted by other shelters in the state. Sometimes I think Jennifer orchestrated all this, Michael said during dinner at the house that now held his chosen family. How so? Jessica asked. She knew I'd need a greater purpose after she was gone. She knew you'd need protection and support to rebuild your life. And she knew Samantha would need a way to turn her own pain into strength, to help others. Do you think she planned for Samantha to find me through the investigation? Jessica asked. I think Jennifer trusted that if she did her part in life, the universe would handle the rest. Samantha reflected on the journey she had taken. When I accepted that surveillance job, I thought it would just be another case. I never imagined I'd find a new family and a purpose in life. Hope Haven became a national model for serving women in vulnerable situations. The system they created was replicated in other cities, expanding Jennifer's legacy far beyond what she could have dreamed. Michael discovered he had a talent for the administrative side of the project, using his management skills to maximize the impact of every dollar donated. He left his previous job and dedicated himself fully to the shelter. Jennifer taught me that success isn't measured by what we accumulate, but by the good we do, he explained to a group of visiting business leaders. Jessica specialized in trauma therapy and began not only counseling the sheltered women, but also training other professionals. Her own healing journey became a source of hope for hundreds. The hardest part was learning to trust again, she shared in an interview for a documentary about the shelter's work. But I discovered trust is rebuilt through small daily acts of courage. Samantha developed a network of volunteer private investigators who helped women stay safe after leaving abusive relationships. Her efforts gained national recognition. Every woman who rebuilds her life reminds me that transformation is possible, she said at a women's safety conference. One Saturday afternoon, 3 years after they first met, the three were at the bus terminal handing out flyers when a young woman approached timidly. "Excuse me, are you from Hope Haven?" "We are," Jessica replied. "How can we help?" I need to leave home. My boyfriend is getting violent, and I have nowhere to go." Michael, Samantha, and Jessica exchanged glances, recognizing in her eyes the same desperation they had once felt. "You've come to the right place," Samantha said, extending her hand. "We'll take care of you." As they walked together to the car that would take them to Hope Haven, Michael felt Jennifer's presence more strongly than ever. It was as if she were there, smiling to see her legacy multiplying through the lives they touched. "Jennifer," he whispered silently, "thank you for teaching me that true love never ends. It just finds new ways to express itself." That evening, in the home they had transformed together, Jessica prepared Jennifer's favorite dinner. It was a tradition they had started to honor her memory whenever a new woman arrived at the shelter. "To Jennifer," Michael said, raising his glass. "To Jennifer," Samantha and Jessica echoed. "And to all the new beginnings she continues to make possible." The toast resonated through the house filled with love, where three people fate had brought together realized the greatest tribute they could pay to someone special was to keep spreading the good she had planted. Outside, the city carried on with its nightly rush. But inside that house there was peace, the peace of those who had learned that even the most painful losses can become unexpected blessings when faced with love and courage. Jessica gazed out the window and smiled, recalling Jennifer's favorite words. "Sister, our destiny isn't defined by what happens to us, but by what we do with what happens." Samantha filed the day's paperwork, satisfied to have helped another woman find a safe path. Her own healing journey had become her life's mission. Michael closed his eyes, grateful to have learned there are many kinds of love. The romantic love he shared with Jennifer, the brotherly love he developed for Jessica, and the purposeful love he built with Samantha. They all slept peacefully that night, knowing that Jennifer lived on through every life, transformed by the work they did together. The bus terminal where it all began had become a symbol that even in the darkest moments when all seems lost, new beginnings are possible. The woman who was once a secret investigator, the man who was once a desperate widower, and the woman who was once a fugitive haunted by fear were now a family united by the common purpose of making the world a safer place for those in need of a second chance. And so the story that began with mystery and vigilance became a tale of love, resilience, and hope, one that would continue to unfold with every new life touched by the legacy of Jennifer Williams. The end of the story. And what about you, dear listener? What did you think of this story of transformation and second chances? Share in the comments if you've ever faced a situation where loss turned into an opportunity for growth. Jennifer brought three people together through love and the desire to do good, proving that even the most painful secrets can serve noble purposes. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share your own stories of overcoming with us.